Hello IT Pros, welcome back to my IT workshop. So in this video we're going to start subnetting based on the number of networks. So we are not going to be doing host anymore, we're going to be doing networks now. The procedure is the same, like 90% the same. There is a slight difference that we're going to see. If you haven't watched the previous videos, you can access them in the top right of this screen. So let's start. We're going to start with this example class network C 192.168.17.0. Remember, we're not going to subnet based on host, but networks. So for this example, we're going to start with a small requirement. We need 5 networks. Let's say you have your Wi-Fi, your main LAN network, you have your servers, you have the IT department and the finance department. So we're going to find out how this is done. Like we have been doing recently, we're going to use our graphic, which is going to help us identify the classes A, B, or C, and the default network mask, host, and all that. So the first step, as always, we are going to convert the number of networks, not host, to binary, and see how many bits do we need. So 5 in binary is going to be equal to 101. So 3 bits. We need 3 bits to reserve for the network portion this time. The second step is going to be convert the default subnet mask to binary, identify the networks and host portions. So this is a little different. I'm wording the second step differently than we have done, but it's the same. I just changed some words. Okay, so 255.255.255.0 or /24. We're going to convert this to binary, which is going to give me the first 3 octets are going to be 1s and the last one is going to be 0. As always, we're going to underline the network portion and the host portion. Remember, we're going to be working now on the network portion. Okay. Now, this is the next one is the important question. Am I creating more networks or allocating hosts? So we are creating networks now. After that, we're going to find a new subnet mask and the increment, which is what we have been doing anyway. The difference now is that we are not going, we have to reserve network bits, no host bits like we have done in the previous videos. So this is going to be a little different. We are going to start from left to right rather than from right to left. So we're going to copy the first 3 bits, the first octets, but now I need to reserve 3 more bits. Okay, so I'm going to start to the 4th octet because that's where we have to start, and I'm going to start reserving 1s. So as you can see in the first step, I need 3 bits. So I am reserving 3 bits now, and the rest is going to be zeros. So as you can see, the first difference is that we start reserving from left to right, not from right to left. Okay, so we have our first 3 bits. Now we have to find our new check that the change is happening in the 4th octet. Okay, so now my new network mask is going to become 255.255.255.224 or /27. And now we are going to find our increment, and that doesn't change. I mean, it's going to be the first one. In this case, the last one before the zeros. Before it was the first one after the zeros. But remember this time we're looking for more networks. So the value of the last one in this case is going to be my increment, which in this case is 32. And the last step is going to be use the increment to find the network ranges. So I'm going to copy our example 192.168.17.0. And the increment goes from, the increment is 32 in the 4th octet. So I'm going to do it again, 32. The next one is going to be 64. As you remember, right now we are finding our network's IDs. And the next one is going to be 96. And the next one is going to be 128. These are our network ID, so we cannot assign to any device in our network. The next is the ranges. For the first one is going to be from 17.1 to 17.30, the second from 17.33 to 17.62, the next 17.65 to 17.94, The next 17.97 to 17.126, and the last one, for this example, 17.129 to 17.158. These are the usable IP addresses. You know, the first one and the last one we cannot use it. We do some math. So now we are going to find how many hosts, but it's not going to be 3 bits. That's the network part. For the host part, which are the zeros, are 5 zeros, 5 bits. As you can see, I underline the zeros, and we are going to find that. So 2 to the power of 5 minus 2 is going to be equal to 30. So we are going to have 30 usable IP addresses per network, but we don't really need this anymore, but we're going to do it anyway. What we need now is the number of networks that we never calculated. So in order for us to calculate the number of networks, is a very easy calculation. It's 2 to the power of 3. Those are the 3 bits we have reserved or found in the first step, which is equal to 8. So we have 8 new networks that we need to accommodate. So if I continue to do this and complete the 8 networks, because check on the left, we have 5 so far. So if I continue, it's going to be 160, 192, and the last one is going to be 224. Because if I add 32 to 224, I'm going to have 256, and I cannot have that. If I had, I would have to go to the left to the 3rd octet, and that would become 18. So as you can see, we have the 8 networks. The math matches, so that's how you do. Let's do another example for class B, 172.20.0.0. So we need, in this case, 51 networks, which is honestly a lot. And we're going to continue with our graphic. And we're going to proceed with our first step, which is convert the number of hosts. It's not host, it's networks to binary, and count how many bits do I need. So 51 in binary is 110011, which are 6 bits. This is the one we have to reserve. The second is convert the default subnetwork, default network mask to binary, identify the networks and host portions. So 255.255.0.0 or /16, we're going to convert it to binary. The first 2 octets are going to be 1s, and the last 2 are going to be zeros. As always, I'm going to underline the network portion and the host portion. We're going to follow the same procedure. We're going to reserve starting from the right to the left. Next step, am I creating networks or am I allocating hosts? Well, we are allocating hosts. We are creating more networks now. So I'm going to copy the same to, and the change is going to happen in the 3rd octet, okay? Because we need to reserve 6 bits to the default network mask. So I'm going to start adding 6 bits, starting in the 3rd network. There goes my 1st bit, 2nd bit, my 3rd bit, my 4th, my 5th, and my 6th. And the rest is going to become zeros, okay? So now I have to find out my new network mask, which is going to be altered. And my new network mask is going to become 255.255.252.0 or /22. Now we are going to find the increment, which is the last one before the zeros. So in this case, my increment is going to be 4. And the 3rd step, which is use the increment to find the network ranges. I'm going to copy the example 172.20.0.0. Check that the change is going to happen in the 3rd octet. So take that into account. So if my increment is 4, so we're going to start adding 4. The next one is going to be 172.20.8. The next one is going to be 172.20.12. That's 0. So those are my network IDs. I cannot use them. I cannot assign them to a computer or a server or any device in my network. Now I'm going to find out the ranges, which is going to be for the first one from 0.1 to 3.254. The next one from 4.1 to 7.254. The next one from 8.1 to 11.254. and 212.1.215.254. As you can see, we have a lot of, you can tell that our hosts are going to be a lot. So as always, we're going to calculate the number of hosts per network. Again, I underlined the network portion, and it's going to be 10. So 2 to the power of 10 minus 2 is going to be equal to 1024 minus 2, which is going to be 1022. So again, there are a lot of available IP addresses that I can use in this network. The next step is going to be to find the number of networks that I have for this example. So 2 to the power of 6. That is going to be the number of networks I have to find for this example, which going to be 64. So you can tell I have a lot of networks. So if I continue to do the networks, the next one would be 172.20.16.0. The next one is going to be that 20.0. The next one that 24, 28, 32, and so on until we reach 64. So that will be for the video, guys. Don't forget, practice. In the next video, I'm going to do one extra example with a class A. So it's going to be a pretty big network. Well, it's going to be, we are going to need a lot of networks. And then we're going to do reverse engineering to IP addresses and subnetwork mask. So thank you for watching, guys. If you like this video, please leave a like and comment in the comment section below. And if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.